Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, and welcome to another amazing live session with Tim. If you can hear me, please do drop a comment. You can say anything. You can say, hey, hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is you're joining us from. Thank you so much. I just need to be sure that you can hear me. So if you can hear me, please do drop a comment. It can be anything just before we get right started. I can see that we have some viewers already. I want to okay. Hi. Ogene Gweke. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. So we're just going to get right into it. This is the session for you if you have ever thought about funding your masters with a loan. I assure you that this is the opportunity for you to get to learn about it and get to ask all your questions. So before we delve right in, now some of you may or may not be familiar with the Zim brand and what we do. So I'm just going to do a brief introduction into Zim and what we're all about before we go into the major gist of today and bring up our guest for today. So at Zim, what is our vision? What is our mission? It is to empower bright minds to study abroad. So we're extremely interested. We believe that there are so many opportunities that can come with people, doing their masters abroad. So what we are about is helping you achieve your academic dreams. So if you've ever dreamed or you want to do your masters abroad in the US now, for instance, we're here to help. We're here to assist you. So while your one-stop educational consulting firm, making your study abroad journey seamless. So we provide guidance every step of the way by simplifying the study abroad process. When you want to do your masters now, it comes with a lot of research. It can be quite difficult to choose a school, to choose the right course. You have all those questions. Does my what do I need to do? How do I write my statement of purpose? What course can I study based on what I did in my BSc? And there's so much information online. Sometimes you may experience information overload. So what we do as Zim is to simplify that entire process. We're streamlining it to make it extremely seamless. So, what do we offer here? We offer personalized guidance and dedicated advisors. So, we have experienced advisors that offer personalized recommendations. So, what happens is if you register on our website and you come into our funnel, we will call you. We have somebody, a member of our team, that will reach out to you within 24 to 48 hours. And, she or he will just guide you, will just talk to you about your experience, about your background. So, it's extremely personal, it's unique to you. So you have somebody that is interacting with you and is guiding you every step of the way. Another thing that we offer is that we have partnered with top universities in the US, like the University of North Carolina, Wilmington, and Indiana Tech. And from this, because of our partnerships with these top universities, you can be given priority admissions. So that's another thing that we offer as well here at Zim. We also offer financial support. That's basically the reason for this webinar today. So, financial support in terms of getting a loan to fund your master's in the US, because we know that it is not cheap. So, there's an opportunity for you. Of course, terms and conditions apply. We'll need to assess your eligibility, which is one of the things that we'll be talking about today. But yes, if you do meet all of the, if you tick all of the right boxes, you can get a loan to fund your studies. And that's one of the things that we guide you through as well. We also offer visa support and guidance. So, of course, it's one thing to get admitted into your dream university abroad. It's another thing to go through the entire process of your visa interview. So yes, if you, by the time you've gone through, you've received admission, we will coach you through the process of ensuring that you're ready for your visa interview. You get all the right documents ready for your visa application and process. So we also offer end-to-end assistance from choosing the right course to securing admission. We're there for you every step of the way. So why should you choose us? We have experts, we have people that are well versed. They know what the schools are looking for, and they know what you need, how you need to present yourself as the best suitable candidate in order to get admitted. We also offer comprehensive support for every aspect of your journey, then global partnerships. And through our partnerships, you don't have to write any of the English tests as GRE or IELTS. They are not required for your applications. And loans are available without the need of collaterals or a co-signer. That's one of the things that we're going to get right into very soon. So some of our partner schools are Indiana Tech University and University of North Carolina Wilmington. So Indiana Tech University is self-funded, so the loan option is not available for Indiana Tech University. But Indiana Tech University is one of the most affordable schools in the United States. Now the tuition is half, almost half the national average, which means you're paying about $9,000 to $10,000 for your tuition fee, which is really cheap. So Indiana Tech is self-funded, so no loan availability. So you need to have the money, but it's one of the most affordable schools in the US. University of North Carolina, however, has the loan option availability, so you can get a loan for the University of North Carolina Wilmington. And those are just two of our partner schools. We also have a financial partner, one of the things that we're going to get right into very soon. So if you're worried about financing your studies, which is one of the reasons why I'm guessing you're joining us today, we're going to get right into it soon. What you need to know about funding your studies with a student loan. And then how do you get started with Zim? What if you have a course, for instance, or a school in mind, or a course that you want to study? All you need to do is to register via our website. This link is going to be on the screen very soon. Register with us at zim.co. Our services are completely free, and I'm laying emphasis to that. There are no hidden charges, no hidden fees. It's entirely free. Then you start your application process with us. So if you have any more questions or any further things that you might like to ask us, or if what we do sounds interesting to you and you'd like to proceed, please do register with us at zim.co. The contact, yes, is on the screen right now. So if you want to register with us, please click on the contact, the link on our screen. Just put it up on your web browser, and we're going to reach out to you to talk further. So now, down to what we have for you for today. We have two amazing guests joining us today. And so that we do not waste any more time, I am going to bring up the first guest that will be speaking today, Oyindamola Rashid. Hi, Oyindamola.
Hi, Olaide. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. So, Oyindamola is representing Empower. Empower is a loan institution offering student loans for students in the US and for Canada. But I'm not going to say anything about that. I'm just going to let Oyindamola do the talking before we go right into the Q&A with our special ambassador. Thank you so much, Oyindamola, for joining us.
Thanks, Olaide. I'm super excited to be back here with Zim Global. I think we've had a webinar previously, and it was a great one. So I'm looking forward to ensuring that we're able to support as much student as we can through Zim Global. I'll reintroduce myself. My name is Oyinda. I'm the Business Development Manager for Empower in Africa. I'll go ahead to put on my screen. So I give like a brief of what we do at Empower. And excitingly, you can also interact with our ambassador during the Q&A session. So a minute. Okay, perfect. Yeah, Empower is a US company that provides loans to international students looking to school in US and Canada. Our goal is to ensure that we're able to provide access to global education regardless of the student's financial background. So today I will be going through what our overview is, our key loan features, additional free services that we provide to students like Path to Success program, also take you through our loan application process, and you get to meet one of our loan beneficiaries where you can ask questions, and then he can tell you about his experience using Empower and currently schooling in the US. As mentioned, Empire is a US company that provides loans to international students looking to school in US and Canada. We're headquartered in Washington, D.C. We supported over 190 plus countries, and we've partnered with over 500 universities at the moment. So just a quick overview. Again, we support US and Canada. We're still trying to expand to other markets, but our focus now is on US and Canada. We've processed over 2 billion plus in loans, and we've partnered with over 500 plus schools. This needs to be updated because as of this month, we've partnered with over 500 plus schools. And for Nigerian students, we've processed over 11,000 plus in student loans. So we've seen over 11,000 plus approvals in student loans. This means that the students, they're going to schools that are part of Empower Partnered University. They went through the process, their loans were approved, visa processed, and we're happy to say that we've been able to process over 11,000 plus. And for Ghana, we've been able to process over 13,000 plus, and Kenya over 3,000 plus students, right? So we support students in African country, in other countries too. But our goal is to ensure that regardless of where you're coming from, your financial background, you have access to global education. And I mean, through our ambassador who is going to be joining soon, you would get to hear like his own experience, but you can also check on Trustpilot to see some of the ratings that we have and what people are saying about the loan application process for Empower, which I'll go into very soon. But you can always check those feedback on Trustpilot. Now, some of our loan features. Empower is a loan facility that you can access without a guarantor or without a co-signer or collateral required. Right, the typical loan system in Africa is you need to some sort of like a collateral or a guarantor. However, for an Empower loan, you don't require any of that. The risk burden is fully on Empower and on the student. Again, we've partnered with over 500 plus universities in US and Canada, so there's a lot of options to explore from when you're looking at universities to go to or apply to. We support students with any student going for any degree at all. We're a big supporter of STEM courses in terms of the returns on investment on the type of course you're going on. So the algorithm is programmed in such a way that since we're not requesting for any collateral or any co-signer, the risk burden is fully on Empower. So how do we determine that this student is actually a college student for us? Is we're some sort looking at what kind of programs are you going for, and what is the ROI on this program in the next 5 to 10 years? What is the validity of this program in the job market in the next 5 to 10 years? So you can get a job and repay back your loan and just have sustainability in repayment of your loan, right? So we really support STEM courses, but regardless, we provide for both STEM and non-STEM courses. So we support only degree programs, no certifications or diplomas. Our loan is ranging from 2,000 US dollars to about 100,000 US dollars. So the maximum we can cover for an Empower loan is 100,000 US dollars. So the entire program needs to be, $100,000. And if it's more, we expect that you're covering the buffered or the gap funding whilst you cover to up to $100,000. We offer a fixed interest rate. In most market, you would see that your local partners or your international partners are some sort offering like a variable interest rate. And what this means is, regardless of the economical situation of the country, whatever rate you've agreed with Empower from the start is what you're going to be using throughout the life cycle of the loan. So regardless of the economical situation, the rate is going to be consistently still remain the same. But for a variable rate, depending on the economical situation, it could go high or go down, but most likely go high. That's what we've seen in past experience. But we want to as much reduce the risk for students, so we provide a fixed interest rate to students, right? There are no upfront fees or pre-closing charges, or there's no loan insurance required with an Empower loan. Once you start your application, you realize that it takes about 20 minutes to finish your loan application to get in a conditional offer. Then it would now be depending on you to submit your document. So depending on how quick it is for you to submit your document for verification, it takes about 3 to 5 business days for us to verify and provide you a loan offer. So it is instant for you to get your conditional offer. There's no waiting period. And all of this is done digitally online, right? With the support of Zim Global, your loan application process could be helped to be facilitated as they're one of Empower partners. We make it easy for you to for your loan to be disbursed directly to your school. We don't want you to be stressed in any of this process on, maybe having to open a bank account in the US whilst you're even outside of the US, right? So we make all the disbursements to the school, as Empower Loan covers both, living expenses, tuition fee, school expenses. All those expenses are disbursed directly to the school. And then for loan requests for like school expensive and living expenses, you can request for it to be reimbursed to your account, especially if you're staying off campus. So these conversations can happen between you and your financial aid officer in the school that you've been approved to go to. And one amazing thing is every student have their own relationship officer. So you get to see that once you start your application, you're either being contacted by a relationship officer on either WhatsApp or email, whichever means that's convenient for you as a student. So you have more of like a personalized service. And if you're applying through Zim Global, it even makes it more better because then you have additional support during the process of your loan application. Down to the rate, our rates are starting from 9.99% to about 15.99%. And we have an auto discount where if you're able to link your our payment to your bank account, you automatically get an auto pay discount of 0.2% on your interest rate. And there's an origination fee which is automatically calculated during the beginning of your loan rates process. So you would have seen that once you get your loan, your offer letter, you'd have seen that calculation being included. And beyond that, there are no application fees or pre-closing fees. Um, Oh, now, talking about the repayment part of things, right? You can take an Empower loan for up to 10 years or less. So if you choose to take an Empower loan, or so for example, you've taken an Empower loan and you got a job and you want to repay back in 5 years, you can speak to your relationship officer or reach out to Zing Global, and we would be able to, make a plan in which you can actually repay back in that 5 years without any prepayment penalties. Typically, in a Nigerian bank or in an African bank, you would have to pay penalties for being able to pay your loan way earlier than you had agreed upon, right? But with Empower, that's not the case. So you can pay earlier than you had agreed upon. But then in school, you're expected to start paying your interest while you're in school. So for us, the goal is while you're in school, you should be able to start building your credit history. And the only way you can start to build your credit history while you're in school is if you start repaying just the interest on your loan, right? We're not asking for interest and principal because we know that will be a lot for you to pay off. So both we're just requesting for just the interest so that you can start to build your credit history while you're in school, which then helps you after school in, for example, you want to get a house or a property, it some sort helps you in those process. Um Now, I'm going to take you guys through Path to Success program. So we understand that in order for students to be able to succeed, they need some form of support or help to guide them to succeed through the Empower application process whilst you're trying to get into school and once you get into school and graduate. So some of the free support that we provide is we provide a visa support letter once you get your loan approved by Empower. So you can request for a visa support letter and we'll provide that to you. We've partnered with institutions like Catalyst Jam in the US, where they provide free visa preparation toolkits like the visa courses, discounted mock visa interviews, and one-on-one coaching with experienced immigration experts. So we've partnered with them just to ensure that we're also preparing you well for your visa process to the US. And also we partnered with border pass in Canada, just so that you can get access to exclusive and discounted access to Canadian immigration experts. So this was very important for us, so that we also sometimes support and guide you during your visa interviewing process. And I'm glad that Zim also provides this service. So you have so much buffer to prepare you for your visa interview. Also, we provide financial tools. We've partnered with banks in US and Canada to make it easy and seamless for you to open an account when you get there, and also access the credit card. And once you graduate, we what we did was we implemented more like a free career service, because it's important that you get the required or desired job for you to start to be peers, and also for you to achieve your career goals, right? So we partnered with F-1. F1 is a platform where you can go to look for jobs, right, or internships within your province. These are jobs that are unique to immigrants. So it makes it easy for you to filter for jobs within your province and start to apply for internships or full-time jobs once you graduate from school. So these are free tools that we've provided to. We want to see you succeed career-wise, and also we want to see you succeed educationally. A quick brief on our loan application process. It is very easy. It takes about 20 minutes to check for your. It takes about, I think, 30 seconds to check for your eligibility, and 20 minutes to complete your loan application process, right? Once you complete your loan application process and you have a conditional offer, then it's pending on you to, upload your document. Depending on how quickly you do, then we make a loan decision on either your loan has been approved or not. But it takes about 3 to 5 businesses to get that decision. And once that is done, we have an handshake with the school. I like to call it an handshake, where we're preparing the school for disbursement to the school, and also waiting for your visa to come out, because we know that we're African students. We know how long it takes for our visa processes. So whilst we're having that handshake, we're also waiting for your visa. Once your visa has been uploaded, then we disburse the loan directly to the school, right? And also then start to prepare you for your interest-only payment while you're in school. So just an approval driver. So I would just say that factors that increase your likelihood of getting an approval for an Empower loan. We're not saying that these things are a must, but we're just saying that it's some sort aids with your approval process. First, if you're going for a graduate degree program, most likely you're going to get an Empower loan, because once you start your eligibility, you would be asked the question on when is your program start date, your program end date. Now we support programs within 2 years. So meaning your program must be a 2-year program or less. When you calculate it, it should be between 24 months or less, right? And most of the programs that fall into these categories are like MBA, masters. So I'll say generally graduate degree programs. So if you're going for a graduate degree program, you're most likely going to get an Empower loan if your documents are verified and checked out. If you're going for a STEM course too, we most likely would put you on the higher buckets than going for a non-STEM course, because again, we're able to calculate the ROI on your education, and we're able to determine what is the job market looking like for you in the next 5 to 10 years, right? If you have a high test score, that would also help. We're not saying you should have one, but if you do, that would help. Also, English proficiency score would also help. Relevant work experience in desired field. I always like to tell students that be very intentional about your resume or your CV, and look for a way that whatever it is you've done, some sort aligns or create a story to what you're about to do, or what you're about to go and study. Now, if you have additional funding like scholarship or savings, or even a sponsor, so any supplements for your student loan, we highly encourage that, because we know visa wise it's highly encouraged also. So we highly encourage that too. What are the factors that will lower your chances of getting a loan approval? So some of the likelihoods are a low GPA. We like to encourage from 2.5 and above, right? And some of the factors are also high gap. So I would explain what high gap means. So if you're going for an Ivy League school where the program is about $120,000 and Empower is covering $100,000 of your program, we would want to know where the remaining $20,000 will be coming from. So in that instance, in some cases, we'll ask you for your bank statement just so that we can see that you actually have that $20,000. And reason being that when you go for your visa, right, they would also want to see these things. So we don't want to give an approval when we know that there's a high likelihood that you won't get your visa because you can't show for this 20,000 gap funding that you still need for your tuition fee, right? So that could be a problem for not getting an approval with Empower. Non-STEM courses, there are some non-STEM courses that we just cannot justify, so we won't be able to support the students. And in your credit score, if you have like a delinquency, I've seen cases where you have delinquencies, but we're able to still support. It's just that you get the higher band of the interest rates. But there's some cases that we're not able to support at all. Maybe we've seen that, in your credit score, the delinquency is really high, and we it would really affect us to actually loan you because we're not requesting for collaterals or anything. So this is like one of the ways that we can determine, oh, is this person trustworthy when it comes to loan repayments and loan successions too. So that could be one of the reasons. Again, relevant work experience. And ensure you're very intentional about creating your CV or your resume. Um, and high existing debt. So if you have an high existing debt in your home country without a plan of repayment before traveling to the US or Canada, that will beg a question of how do you then intend to pay when you're in US or Canada if you have an already existing loan with Empower. There'll be a struggle there. So yeah, these are some of the factors that would lower likelihoods of approval with an Empower loan. However, we have Zim Global, who is, very abreast with our Empower process, and they can guide you thoroughly during your Empower application process. So the goal for us is everybody has an access to, Empower loan or to global education. And I'm really hoping that, you can work directly with Zim Global so that it can guide you in getting your Empower loan approved and also, guide you through schooling abroad. So yeah, we're empowering the brightest minds in the world to get top education, and I'm really excited to, I've gone through this presentation with you guys, and I hope it's adequate to your knowledge on Empower. So I would move over to Olaide. Back to Olaide.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Indamola. That was so awesome. And I'm sure, that is giving people, more than enough context to what Empower is. So please, if this sounds interesting to you, and if you want to proceed, kindly use the link that you can see on the screen, the website up to register, and then we can proceed. Now, we're going into the next segment of today's session. We have an Empower Loan beneficiary here with us live. And yes, we're going to be asking him a couple of questions. Now, once again, if you do have any questions, please just leave them in the comment section. We're going to attend to questions very soon, but we're just going to, run through some questions with our special Empower Ambassador guest. Hi, hi, Godwin. Hello. Okay, I'm not sure if you can hear me. Hi, Godwin. Are you there? Okay. So I'm guessing there might be an issue. Okay, so while we wait for Godwin, I'm just going to begin to ask questions to Oindamola. Yes. So for those now that want to, maybe they're interested in the Empower loan, one of the things that happens is when they get to, okay, is that Godwin? Okay, no. Okay, so when they get to the embassy for their interview, they're asked questions about, oh, how will you repay your loan? So, I mean, what advice might you give for to our audience that is currently watching this, for getting through that process? Because I mean, you get admitted, you get the loan. These people want to know that you're able to pay back your loan. So, how the people that are interested, and they get the Empower loan, how do they increase their chances of getting their F-1 visa approved at the embassy, even with loan funding?
Okay, great question, Olaide. From experience, we've seen that people that have a plan towards repayment of their loans, so such that you've already saved up the money for your interest only payment whilst you're in school, right? So, you're answering question based off on, oh, I've saved up my interest only payments while I'm in school, which is actually on my bank statement, and based off on that, I look forward to just focusing on my education, paying my interest only payment. Once I'm done with school, come back to Nigeria to get, jobs in one of the top companies, as I already have an MBA in a certain course, or a master's in a certain course that will put me, at par, or higher than my peers. So we've seen that when students are able to answer questions like that, removing all directions from having to get a job in the US, right? Or, there are some certain things they don't want to hear. So having to place a plan towards the things they don't want to hear, you have a plan towards that. We've seen students, succeed in that instance, right? So first you need to have a plan towards your interest only repayment whilst you're in school. So it's either you save up that money in your bank account, or you already have a sponsor, or your family would sponsor that. You need to make it state that clearly. And do not mention, getting a job in the US. I think that's one of the red flags, because they want to be able to tie you back to your own country. So you now want to mention about coming back to your own country to work in one of the top firms. In fact, you can make your research on the top firms and mention these firms to them during your
Mm.
interviewing process. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Indamola. Hi, Godwin. Hello. Are you with us? Are you there? Hi. Can you hear me?
I
Okay, I'm
think
not
Godwin
sure.
is still having challenges hearing us. Is trying to
Okay.
work on that.
All right. Okay. Okay. That's fine. Okay. So another question, Indamola, is so a lot of people have some common misconceptions about getting their
Hello.
loan. Oh yeah, yes, I can hear you. Hi, Godwin. Can you hear us? Okay, I think it's still experiencing some challenges. All right. Okay, so just let me know when you
Okay, I
can.
can. If you can hear me, but I can't hear anything. I don't know if it's a network. I can hear you guys. I can't hear any of you.
Okay, okay. So
I
I
don't know if it's
guess
a network, but initially I was hearing everyone, even the from the introduction. But now,
okay. Okay, we'll sort that out.
like,
Let me just All right. So while government tries to, rejoin because of the network challenges. So Oindamola, yes, the next question. Now lots of people have some common misconceptions about loan funding. They are like, I mean this thing with loan, is it a scam? Are there people that have been able to actually pay back their loans? So I mean, for this common misconception, the fears that people have, what do you think are some realities that you have seen for people? I mean, I'm sure that you've seen a ton of students do this. I mean, even people from Nigeria, people from across Africa. So what are some things that you've seen that might encourage people that are afraid to take this step? Maybe examples and maybe even general advice that you feel can apply to people that want to take this step but are afraid, because when some people hear loans they want to run away. But I mean, you've seen people that have been able to take out these loans and pay back, start paying, finish paying. So what advice do you have, based on these misconceptions about loans?
Yeah, thanks, Olivia. So, Most of so you see a lot of people when you eventually relocate to the US or to Canada, you see a lot of people actually use loans for their education, and they're big on credits on the credit system, right? Compared to how we're big on debit system in Africa, right? So for them, loan for education isn't a problem, right? However, if there is doubts with loans with Empower, is that real? We There's a platform called Trustpilot. We try to ensure that all our students, whether good reviews or bad reviews, they go to put on a review there, so you see what their experience was with the process. And we had people that are currently done with school and they're working. Some people are still back in the US because they went for a STEM course and they have 3 years to stay back in the US. So they're currently there working and repaying back their loans. Some people would repay back their loan way earlier than we had expected, right? Way earlier than in 10 years. And most of these people are actually African students. And I think it's because of our grit and tenacity. So there are students that are currently doing that. There are students that are repaying back their loan even after school. So it's doable. The process is very easy. Again, I've said going through Zim Global makes it even more easier because these are platforms that are very well familiar with, and they currently have students that are applying for an Empower loan. They have students that have gone through this process, so they can also share their experiences with you. And that's why we brought in Godwin onto the call so that he's able to share his experience during his loan application process and his experience currently in the US, because they're actually real people that are using Empower Loan to achieve their educational dreams and their career dreams too.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Oindamola. Hi, Godwin. Can you hear us now?
Yes, I think I can hear clearly
Um,
now.
awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. Apologies for any network issues you may have experienced so far. It's so lovely to have you here with us.
Thank you.
All right. So I'm just going to ask you one or two questions. Once again, if you do have any questions, please do drop them in the comment section so that we can quickly attend to them. So my first question for you, Godwin, is can you briefly share your journey to studying in the US with us and how a student loan made this a reality?
Okay. Good morning, the presenters. Good morning, the viewers, and good morning, everyone in the house, in the studio. So, my name is Godwin. I'm from Nigeria. So currently, I had plans of, in fact, my plan was going to UK actually for my master's, but as of last year, with the whole policy review in UK and everything, so I had a change of mind for US. But all the same, I've always been introduced to Empower through a friend. I've used it, and so actually say, okay, fine, that will be a support for my studies abroad, because actually studying abroad sometimes is challenging. It depends on the country where you're going. So I had passion for US or UK. That was my two choices. So Empower actually was really a stress free, because I never knew about it until I was told. And when I researched myself, because that is the most important thing, or advise students always go in, check, don't list all what people tell you might be true, but try to make your own research. So I
Yeah.
checked on Empower, I reviewed everything, and everything, most of the things I heard about them actually was true. I checked the terms and condition and everything. So I applied. First of all, I started with my admissions first. Currently, I'm in the US. I'm in my third semester, my second, let me say I'm in my second year, my third semester. So left it one semester to leave. And it has been with a super support of Empower. Just the way the staff of Empower have said, everything she said actually is true. That is the process how it works. So I started from Nigeria. I was in Lagos actually. So I applied for the school, Catholic U. I'm a Catholic University of America with other three universities. I got admission. So Catholic Q actually was, they gave me my preferred choice. I'm doing MSc Engineering Management. So that was my preferred, because I'm a mechanical engineer from my first degree with some years of experience. So I got admission, and it goes to the stage of the Empower. I applied for the loan, and in fact the whole process went. Luckily for me, I also got my visa at the same time. The first time I tried my visa, I got my visa for America. So
Wow.
it's everything happens sim free. So by then, Empower have already started reaching out to me. That's one thing I must tell you about Empower. Once you create your portal and you log in, the follow up is massive. They write you mails, they chat you up. Just as she said, you are sent to an account officer. I have my account officer. He writes me, give me tips, advise me on how to follow, what step I have. They'll ask you questions. Where are you? What do you need? Even they gave me a support letter. They gave me a
Wow.
support letter, yeah, for my visa. So
Mm,
which they stayed there that they're going to cover my spawn, everything. So it really helped me and with my own little funding I have actually. But Empower was there at any point. So I did my applications. It was seems free. The whole process is what you can do yourself actually. You can really apply for this with a link and you get it through, submit your necessary documents. They will verify and get back to you. They send you mails as soon as you send a mail to them, they respond back to you. So they approved my loan and it's what we call loan certification. While I was staying in Nigeria, I must tell you this.
wow.
All this was happening while I was still back home in Nigeria. So later, my school now reached out to me that Empower have sent my loan for certification, that they're going to do that within a week. That is Catholic Q. So before I arrived US, it was already like my school have already closed out my loan stuff, requesting for my account for reimbursement, my first semester. That was last year, January. I started last year. So it was a bit stress free and actually I think they are doing a great job because for you to get a loan, I got a loan up to about 60,000 approved.
Wow.
60,000 approved, yes. I think actually that's what they approved for me. Although I don't think I used up to that at the end, but that was what I was approved because they're going to check you, verify you, give you some background checks and everything. So once you are okay and you are good with all the requirements, mostly STEM courses, because I'm doing STEM course. So, and most of my friends too that I've also guided to go through this have also gotten this scholarship too. So it's something real and reasonable. And also, as you said, the interest. In fact, frankly, although I got a job in campus, I've been able to, at least I've been able to pay through my interest loan already while on school years because I'm working, and luckily Empower really helped me because my family they've joined me now. My family is here with me, so that was really to show you how they are, because the statement they gave to the school, it was easy for me to get my family across with their own statement, I-20. So my family, they joined me already here. So which make me, at least, I'm okay, I'm fine for now. And I'll advise anyone, it's something you should give a shot at because it's real. And finally this year, I got a mail from Empower that spread out how I'm going to pay my loan for the period of, because when they say 10 years, I never know it's real, but they sent me a mail on the breakdown on how I'm going to pay for the remaining terms of my period. So it's really flexible. It's really flexible. And that makes me feel, at least with this, I know once I start my internship and everything. So it's not, they don't make it in a way that it gets too choked up. So
Mm-hmm.
they make it very, very flexible. The breakdown is very, very okay for me and it's affordable. So for the period I'm going to stay. So if I feel like adjusting it back about it, what we wrote on what the contract I signed is really what they are working on. So that is really what makes me comfortable with Empower. It's just as they stated, they've not changed the interest rate. It has been the interest I was approved for. That is what is still there, and the whole terms, everything. And I've been prompt in making my payments because with my campus job I got, at least I've been very, very realistic. I've been paying back as at when due, and it has really improved my credit. I never knew they were reporting my credit actually until last time I saw my credit score have gone over seven something. So it's really is real, yeah, it's real, and that has really helped me in the US. And so I advise anyone to. I think what they need is just to be for you to be sincere and genuine with what you know what you want, and they are ready to guide you. So
Okay. Well,
yeah,
thank you so much, Godwin. I love how you preach the gospel of empower so beautifully well. I mean, I'm sure that that has managed to relay the fears of so many people. Now, you mentioned that you got your visa approved at the first trial.
yeah.
So please, can you share with us how did you manage to do that? I mean, of course, they would have asked you how do you intend to repay your loan. Can you just run us through your visa process and how you approach the interview process as well, and how you were able to answer the questions too, since you are
Okay.
loan funded?
Yeah, okay, fine. So actually, the Empower loan I got, I have my own. I've been working in Nigeria. I've worked with an energy firm in Nigeria before. So I had my own funding as part of what Empower is doing. Because Empower will ask you all these questions. I was like, I got scholarship from my school. I told you I couldn't exhaust the 60,000 that Empower approved for me. So I got
Yeah.
almost like, let me say, 60% of my tuition fee on scholarship,
Okay.
which is on my I-20. Then I have some part of my own funding. Then Empower also ready to cover my living because the scholarship is strictly on tuition. So when I
Okay.
got to the embassy, the lady asked me, in fact, my interview was in Abuja. So she asked me that I can see you are going with Empower and what? Yes, I say yes, I'm going with Empower. They are just only supporting me for my other funding that I got scholarship and I have some tuition fee. So she said, okay, fine. So how do you intend paying back your? I said yes. By the time I got to school, my school have already promised me some campus job. I have
Okay.
experience yet and yet. So I have means of earning while on campus. So they say which school and what's the nature of the job. I say yes, I've discussed with my professor. So he promised that once since I have experience on this, I can work as a graduate assistant. And they have ready to pay me at least 15 hours per $15 per hour. So with this, on campus, the loan have stated that I'm not paying the loan while studying. I'm only paying the interest, and the interest is so amount. So she left after. She said, okay, fine. That it seems realistic. I said yes, because I have my own funding. I'm not relying alone, and I have scholarships. So the burden is not going to be much on me. So she said, okay, fine, that is workable. Since I have a work already planned for me, and that was how my visa was approved. Then she asked me, are you married? I said, yes. So it's what of your family? I said, my family will not be coming now. They might be joining me later on a visit, but I have to arrive, get to America. I said, when did you get married? I told her. How many kids? I told her. She said, okay, fine. I'm going to approve your visa. So
Wow.
I think it's based on your presentation, how you
Hmm.
manage to explain what you're going to do. Because that question, how will you pay back that loan alone? So if you don't know how to arrange it, it will throw you off balance. Because mind you are coming with an immigrant visa, non-immigrant visa. So an F-1, you are allowed to work in school at least minimum of 19 hours a week during school period. But during summer, you can work up to 40 hours, which is my experience here. So
Okay.
that is just the truth. So you can, it's possible based on your presentation and your composure. Your presentation matters most because these people, they know. So they want to listen to you and know how you can present yourself. If you really know
Hmm.
what to do. Yeah, I think that is just the most important stuff.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you so much for your presentation. Having confidence and
Yeah,
answering their questions honestly. That's answering
yeah.
all their questions with
And show
sincerity.
them facts because you have them with you. Your I-20 have everything stated there. So that is
Okay.
just it. Yeah.
So you'd advise that everybody that is listening to this that might want to proceed should have some sort of funds ready. They should not just be relying on only Empower to support them.
Yes, it's very realistic because if you're telling the embassy I've worked for so number of years and I'm not going for my masters. So you can't just be going for your masters based on what if Empower declined along the line or they
Mm,
delayed? How will you hold yourself to end? Because automatically you are not in America yet. So what are your
yes.
plans? You have to pay your flight fee. So you should have some fund. At least for the first month of arrival, you should have some because Empower, they don't know you yet. And let me tell you the truth from my understanding. Empower gets once you get your visa and they request for it, please share your visa with us. Once you share your visa with them, then I know that they have a contract, they are coming over. Because you might get admission, you don't get visa. I get
Yes.
me.
Very.
So that visa is the most important thing in American journey, my trip to America. So once I got my visa and I shared it to them, so every process, in fact, they've already started reaching out the school will still get
Wow.
because the school seems to be the middleman between you and so you must have some little fund. I advise people at least you can't just as a graduate that have worked, especially when you are not fully funded. I wasn't fully funded. So the school is taking part of my tuition, about 65%. Empower is there to give me some part because the school have to reduce my Empower loan. Let me tell you the truth. I got approved for 60,000. The school reduced it to about 35,000. So you can see how it works because they already giving me some loan. And in America, they have some amount of funding you as a student, international student could get. It mustn't be above that. So they slashed it after certification. So now what do I need to make up? I should have some little funding of my own, showing my statement that I can support myself for at least for the first month period to Empower sending down their loan or supporting me or the school's tuition coming over. So I always advise that it helps to boost your documents that you have some amount of money. Insist that your school should add, no matter how it might be about $2,000 or 3,000, but let it be there to show the visa officer that at least I have some savings. I'm responsible. Because that's what they want to see. That at least you have plans for where you're going for. You're not just depending on someone. So that is just what they all understand the whole stuff. Hello.
Hi, Godwin. Yeah, that's great. Great to hear. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I think Olaide has dropped off the call. I don't know. Let me just read out the question from the chat so that So someone said Mr. Godwin, which you already okay, perfect. Olaide is back to host the course.
Apologies for that. My network seems to have been messing up. So we'll quickly take some questions from the audience. So this says that I got admitted to Indiana Institute of Technology. Can I apply for the loan? No, Indiana Tech Institute of Technology is not among the universities that you can apply for an Empower loan with. Another question says, I got, okay, I think this has been responded in the comments already. Yes, you can apply. Some of the responses are already in the comment section, but I'm just going to look through okay, some of the questions that maybe Godwin can help us. All right, now this question, does the loan apply only to MSc? What about PhD? Okay, so I think I'll let Godwin answer that, or Damola.
For US, I think basically for MSc for now, I think the loan supports MSc STEM courses fully. For PhD, I can't really speak for that. I think the mother could speak to that, but I know for sure MSc is very, very okay. You are very, very okay. They will sponsor you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Godwin, for that. I responded to on the comment section. So we support
Mhm.
graduate degree programs ranging from MSc to MBA to PhD. However, PhD programs could extend to 3 years, could extend to 4 years. So, and remember, Empower only covers 2 year program. So if your program is more than a 2 year program, we would expect that you are able to finance the first or second year or third year, and then we support the later 2 years. So if it's a 3 year program, you sponsor your first year, and then Empower can support your second and third year for a PhD. So yeah, we support graduate degree program on any range, including PhD, but only 2 year of the program that we can cover. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. I can see a question that just popped up here. It says, I got admitted to University of Massachusetts Lowell. Can I apply for the loan? I think that's for you,
Yes,
Oindamola.
I think Massachusetts Lowell is one of our partner university. I would suggest that the person also checks in back with Zim Global to check if that's a part of our partnered university because they have a list of universities. But I think Massachusetts is one of it. If it's one of it, then you can go ahead to apply for the loan using Zim Global link so they can support you through the process.
All right, thank you so much. So somebody asked, how do we get the list of schools Empower are partnered with?
Yeah, so already I'm expecting you and your team to be able to provide the list to the attendees, so they're able to track that with if that's one of the schools that they're applying for currently, or if they would need to make a choice change. Yeah.
Yes, please just register with us. The link is in the comment section. Now we might not be able to take all of the questions for today, but please, if you have specific questions concerning the Empower loan, how to get started, please register with us. Reach out to us. You can send us a DM across any of our platforms. So I think I'm just going to take one or two more questions here. This question says, "Can I choose any course of my choice? Plus, can I work and school?" Now I think Oyedamola has addressed this, and Godwin as well has shown us that you can work in school, and start paying back the interest on your loan as well. Then, okay, this is a pretty long question. It says, Mr. Godwin, I was approved. This is the last question we're going to take because of time. Apologies to our audience. Well, this question says, Mr. Godwin, I was approved 63,200 USD for masters in cybersecurity and networks at the University of New Haven, Connecticut, USA. School gave me a scholarship of 2,000 per semester. I did not upload my own personal funding during DS 160. How do I present this at the embassy during the interview?
Okay, this is very simple. I must say this that most of the American universities, their international office that issues the I-20, they are very flexible from my experience because I had so much front and back with them. In fact, at a point, I was like, could someone be this ready to willing to respond? I pushed them because I got the information that I should make sure that I input my own personal funding in my I-20 because when you get to the embassy, what they ask you is that can I have your document, which is your passport and your I-20. Now, your I-20 is a physical document this interviewer is viewing there. why asking you questions, despite what is on your DX 120 already. Yes, 120 is your application, or 160 is your application fee. So what I would advise this person, I don't know which intake you're applying for, but I advise you reach out to your school. I have my own part of my funding, because they're going to this 63,200 will be certified by your school, and they might, at the end of the day, you might not be approved for this altogether. They might reduce it as to include your scholarship given to you, which might be a total of 8,000 scholarship. So now, if they're including your 8,000, what you see on your I-20 will be 4,000. That's for the first year. They should also include your personal funding, no matter how small it is. It helps to build your I-20 platform to show that at least you have, because some of us have plan of bringing your family in future. You should have some funding at least. I'm not just totally broke. I'm not a broke now. I'm doing something. I'm responsible. I've saved this amount. Write to your school. Tell them that this is your plan. That in your country back home, that you have to prove to the VO that you are responsible and you have some things doing your work. You are working, because in your DS 160, you've written there that you are working. You have work experience, and they've asked you your previous work experience, your current. They even ask you how much you earn. If you remember, in your DS 160 is there, how much you earn. If you are earning an amount, why can't you prove that you've been able to save some percentage of this amount for the period of years you've worked? Because for them asking that question, they are not just it's not just for asking sake. People will quote, I earn 500,000 a month. Yes, you've quoted. So you mean for the 500,000 you've earning, you lavish all of them. You don't have any backup. You don't save. Write your school. Explain to them that they should give you an updated I-20. That you want your part of your saving. Then they'll ask you, okay, give us the statement of account of your own input. You share with them, and you advise them. I want this also percentage of the amount to be included in my I-20. They will do it. Thereby, mind you, Empower is already giving you a loan that they're backing you up. So all these documents is what you go with. So that's what I would advise you. It's very, very important. Your DS 160 doesn't have an issue, but you can get an updated I-20. So that will help. I think for your so write to your school, they can give an updated I-20.
Thank you so much, Godwin. That's like a perfect answer. Give a few minutes for Olaide to rejoin again. I think she's out of the call now before we end the call. Okay, so I think Olaide is back. Hi, Olaide, can you hear us?
The network is very bad.
Yeah. Olaide, Comfort, can anybody hear us?
Okay, hello. Can everybody hear me? Can you hear me now? I was
Yes,
Yes,
struggling
you're
with
yes.
things.
audible.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So thank you very much, Godwin. That was a really, really good question, good answer to that question, because a lot of they don't to itself. And the fact that you really emphasize that is a really good time to explore that. So just like Olaide mentioned, so we might not be able to take on all the questions right here. I know that, so we don't keep Moinda and Godwin so that they can also enjoy their weekend. So we have a community on Telegram. So most of you here already a part of that community. And if you want to join the community, you can also on our website www.sing.co, and once you register you should get a link to join the community, and a dedicated advisor would reach out to you within 24 to an hour, and this the way they will answer the questions, even then they're going to be answering those questions for you one-on-one conversation, so you would actually enjoy that conversation more than what we're having here on this call. So we're going to call it a wrap now. So we're going to call it a wrap now. And I would like to thank everybody for joining. So, Godwin, thank you very much. And I really appreciate your time. 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 And I
All right, so I think
thank you very
for
much,
service.
everyone. Thank you very much, Linda, and thank you very much, Godwin.
Thank you so much, Godwin, for joining. Thank you, everyone, for having us.
Okay, fine. So, in case of any of the applicants that apply to Catholic U, you can always reach out to me if there's any inquiry or any follow up. I could always assist. If you have applied to Catholic through Zoom, you could reach out to me. I can always support between now and December before I'll be rounding up. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.
Okay, thank you.